Hey everybody, this is me, Lance Meister from Gray Fox Games. I'm here to talk to you about our Gen Con experience. Now I realize this is kind of late in the producing, if you will, but lots of stuff's been going on in the background for Gray Fox in general, and so this is when I was able to finally put my thoughts together and look at my notes I've got written down here and just talk about what Gen Con was for us. Now, as always, if you know where our booth is, it's always in that same area, and we always get a lot of foot traffic, and it was really great to interact with all the people that came over to talk to us about our games, and most importantly, check out Champions of Midgard 10th anniversary. Now, we had a setup here, and I'll show it to you, that did show off some of the stuff that we had already. Now, this is all first run kind of prototype one-off stuff. So if you see anything in that picture and you're like, well, I don't know what about that, just don't worry about it. That is not the finalized image. But a lot of the stuff you see there is pretty close. The thing that obviously drew a lot of people in were the boats. People were super excited seeing those cool boats that will designate when you send those Vikings off on their voyages. So Champions of Midgard 10th anniversary is a one print only. We are doing it once and it is over. It is a collector's edition. It'll be signed and numbered by the designer. So if you haven't backed it and you think it's something you want to snag, head over to gamefound.com. There will be a link down in the video here that will talk about how you can get in on the late pledge. And we'd love to have you, and we'd love to print that. Right now, we are still on pace for a March 2026 release. So, in a relatively very short period of time, we will have that made and we'll have it delivered to our backers. All right, so all that aside from Gray Fox, obviously I loved interacting with the people. I love talking to people. One of my favorite things to do is go to conventions when I work. I'm working in the tabletop industry now for over 10 years, and it is something that I always kind of dread it in a way because I'm kind of a homebody. But as soon as I get there and I talk to the people and you listen to them talk about their experiences with their games, it can't help but just kind of revitalize me and kind of rejuvenate my passion for this hobby. So I really like that. And I wanted to talk about one game that I checked out. Well, actually, one game and one event that I always do. So one game, my friends over at Smirk and Dagger, they have this series of games. There's only two, but there's going to be more called This Game is a Killer. And I haven't played the first game, even though it's kind of based on the Alien franchise. But I did pick up and played the second game in the franchise, which is Frozen Horror. And it is a very, very quick game of hidden roles. And I ended up, I don't play a lot of games at conventions usually because I'm just too busy. But this is kind of tied into my third thing. I did go and hang out at the Board Game Geek Hot Games Room. I can't speak enough. If you go to Gen Con and you can and get the event tickets for it, it is in the Hyatt Regency Hotel. It is right there, and they have all the cool games and everything that's been released at Gen Con. They have all that stuff, and it's there for you to play. And it is always a happening, buzzworthy place to be. And that's where I ended up playing Frozen Horror. I ended up playing that with my oldest son and a lot of other people that just happened to see it and play. The game only lasts about 8 to 10 minutes. And I remember we played about 2 hours of this, just playing it over and over again. And it handles a large group of people, like up to 10, like 4 to 10. So it's, it was one of those things where it was fun, it was exciting, and I'm really glad I picked up a copy and I put it in my collection. So there you go. That's just a quick little rundown of Gen Con. If you stop by the booth and you're watching this video, leave a comment below and let me know, and so I can remember our interaction, hopefully. If you went to Gen Con and you had a really cool game that you checked out and you thought was something that you think I would like to hear about, I'd love to hear about that in the comments as well. Thank you very much, and as always, if there's something you'd love for Gray Fox Games to cover in one of these videos, I'd love to hear that, and let me know, and so maybe one of the next videos can be about that. All right, take care. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.